What's going on, everyone? Derrikmonster here, back in with another video. It's that time again. Time for another update video. It's been a while since I've recorded a video. It's been about a year and a half, and basically in this video I'm going to explain where I've been, basically what I've been up to, and what is going to happen in the near future for this channel and videos on this channel. I got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about, but where I've been, I've basically been sick for a year and a half, and I had chronic gastritis. But the reason why I was sick for so long with chronic gastritis is because I didn't know I had it until the beginning of this year. I didn't find out until like January 24th of 2023. So that's why I was sick for so long, because it started with a misdiagnosis, and the symptoms that I had, the symptoms of chronic gastritis were the same symptoms of what I got diagnosed for at the beginning, which was a virus, just a regular virus. And basically I'm going to talk about everything that happened over the past year and a half while I had this sickness, and basically how I found out, because it started with a misdiagnosis that led to one thing, that led to another thing, and then basically I was supposed to be healed at one point, but I was not getting better. So it's like, well, what's the problem now? And then I had to get more and more tests until eventually I got an endoscopy, which revealed that I had chronic gastritis. It's a lot, but I have it all written down on my phone. So we're gonna go through this together. Let me pull up my notes and stuff. But yeah, it was one hell of a year and a half. It's just like, it was the worst pain I've ever been through. It's just like, I've never been through something this bad. But yeah, I have the dates and stuff written down here, but some dates might be off in some places. Some dates are correct for sure, I know that, but some dates might be off by like a day or two, because once I started logging all this, it was kind of like a blur. But yeah, the thing while I was sick is basically I was bedridden the whole time, only got up to go to the bathroom for food, couldn't stay out of bed for too long without feeling sick, which means I couldn't record videos and stuff. And since it was a stomach issue, I couldn't have certain things to eat, so I couldn't do like food videos and stuff, and I couldn't even like turn on my computer and look at my computer for too long without feeling sick. You know, I'd turn on my computer and 5 minutes later I would feel sick. It's just, it was not a good time for me. But I'm feeling better, so, you know, I'm able to record videos and stuff again. Anyway, so February 26th, it was a Saturday. I was at my girlfriend's house for the weekend, and at 3 a.m. we decided to go to bed. So it was early Saturday morning, 3 a.m. We decided to go to bed. I basically laid in bed for half an hour on TikTok. My girlfriend passed out almost immediately, and around 3:30 I felt like throwing up. So I went to get up to go to the bathroom, and I kind of sat over the toilet bowl, and basically I could feel like I was gonna throw up, but I couldn't throw up. So I was like, maybe I'll just watch videos on my phone. I could not watch videos on my phone. For whatever reason, I just couldn't. So I basically sat there until like 4:30, and then I passed out on her bathroom floor because the floor was so cold it felt good. So I basically slept for an hour on her bathroom floor, woke up at 5:30, spent another hour just sitting at the toilet bowl until my girlfriend got up. And then basically I was like, could you give me a bowl and could you give me a glass of water, so that way I kind of had security with the bowl so I wouldn't throw up a place, because I wanted to go sit on the couch so I could like watch like TV and stuff. So we did that, and then I eventually passed out. I woke up every 4 hours and felt like throwing up. I woke up every 4 hours, would go to the bathroom, felt nauseous, felt like throwing up, and then I went back to sleep. Woke up that night and I felt a lot better, and the whole day I didn't eat anything or drink anything, and I was not hungry or thirsty. It was weird. Well, I had a couple sips of water here and there, but yeah. Anyway, so I basically felt better that night, and I was up all night, and then February 27th, Sunday morning, that was when the Pokemon Presents, and that's when Gen 9 was announced. And I think I announced on my Twitter that like Gen 9 is announced and stuff. And if I can find it, I guess I'll put up the Twitter post somewhere on screen, either here or here. But yeah, so that's kind of what happened. And so I went to bed Sunday morning and woke up at 1. Felt better, you know. I finally ate something, you know. I didn't feel like throwing up anymore. I felt fine. Stomach. So, and then when I was gonna go home, I left around midnight or so. I had a stomach ache before going home, but I went to the bathroom and I felt better, and I assumed I just needed to take a shit because I took a shit. So I felt better, and then I got home at midnight. So now it's Monday, February 28th, Monday. I got home and I spent a while on my computer, and I went to bed around 4, and I laid in bed and I felt like throwing up again. And I just like couldn't do anything. So I felt like throwing up. So I basically got out of bed, brought my blanket, my phone downstairs, and I grabbed a bowl from the kitchen, basically a bowl. Actually, I think I still have the bowl. This bowl from the kitchen just to throw up in, and just in case if I threw up. And I slept on the couch. I turned on The Incredibles, which was one of my favorite movies that made me feel better. But I fell asleep to The Incredibles at like 5:30 in the morning. And my mom had to get up at 7 and take my brother to the bus stop because he still had school at that point. And so my mom woke up and she realized the TV was on because The Incredibles was over at this point. And I was passed out with my head in a bowl. And obviously my mom knew something was immediately wrong because I would not involuntarily sleep on the living room couch, or the family room. I was in the family room because that has the big TV. But she obviously knew something was wrong. So when I woke up at 1 that day, there is like a couple bottles of water for me to drink. But I spent that entire week of the week from February 28th to March 4th on the couch. But we'll get to that. So I told my mom something was wrong, and I spent the next 2 nights on the couch. And my mom scheduled a doctor's appointment for Wednesday because it kind of was like an emergency, and Wednesday was the day my doctor was on call. So we could get in that Wednesday. So Wednesday, March 2nd, I went to the doctor's office. I immediately had a panic attack. I had a panic attack and I felt like throwing up, and they gave me one of these green bags that like stands, call it the green worm. That's why my mom and me came up with, because anytime I went, I had panic attack because I developed very bad anxiety the whole time I had this sickness. So, but I'll get back to that later. But I felt like throwing up, so they gave me the green worm, and my body was so exhausted from having a panic attack and heaving, going, you know, because, you know, so I passed out there. Like, I sat on the table, and my mom was there because my mom has diabetes and she had some questions. I mean, she recently got diagnosed earlier that year for diabetes. So she had questions, but I kind of sat there on the table, you know, like you sat on the table and you can lean back and, you know, you breathe in and check your, you know, thing and the thing in your ear and stuff. I fell asleep on that table. I passed out there. And then, you know, my doctor came back in. He basically said all my symptoms, I got told it was a virus, which stays in the body for 2 weeks. So he was like, it's probably just a virus, you know. It wasn't a virus, come to find out. But the virus caused a lot of things to happen, which had other things. And once they saw those things, they thought, oh, that's the cause of the problem. But we'll get back to that. Anyway, I got some nausea pills and went home and slept for the rest of the day because I felt so nauseous and so tired that when I got home, I just passed out on the couch. And I got some nausea pills. And, well, not really pills, more tablets that you chew or dissolve, because I don't do well with swallowing pills. I don't like swallowing pills. I've tried to take pills in the past, and they just won't go down my throat. They just come back up. So, I have weird ways of taking medicine. But got nausea pills. I could chew them. They taste like strawberry, you know, and basically just wash it down with water. But yeah, so March 4th, which is a Friday, finally went back into my room. The nausea pills or tablets did not help at all. But I went back in my room and I have this like thing. It's kind of like, it's got like a back like my chair, and then it's got like armrest. So I had that and I just put it on my bed, and basically for like the next 4 months I had to sleep sitting up because I could not lay down, because if I laid down I felt nauseous. It was bad. It was bad. So March 9th, Wednesday, the day the virus should have been gone. And the virus should have been gone by then, and I felt a little better, like it had gone away. So me and my brother decided to go get Chick-fil-A that day, because, you know, I was kind of like in a Chick-fil-A mood, and I was like, yeah, that might be good. And my mom was like, don't get anything spicy, just get like a regular chicken sandwich. So I was like, okay, I'll just get a regular chicken sandwich, because spiciness might not go well with my body. Now, if you know about anything about gastritis, is the worst thing you can have, or one of the worst things you can have, is fried chicken. Now, at this time, I didn't know I had gastritis, so, you know, I didn't know that I was not supposed to have chicken. But Chick-fil-A, bad idea. I felt sick after taking a few bites in that chicken, and I slept for the rest of the day. Mind you, we got Chick-fil-A at like noon. I slept until like 10 p.m. at night, and then woke back up and was up all night. By the way, I did not sleep for like 4 months regularly. I was basically up all night and up all day, and the only time I would sleep is if my body passed out from pure exhaustion. I'm sorry I'm like shaking the camera a lot. It's because I'm using my webcam and my desk is shaky. Oh, my webcam moved. Okay, I think I fixed it. Maybe. Hopefully I fixed it. I don't know if I fixed it or not. But I'll try not to shake my desk. But yeah, the Chick-fil-A didn't feel good. I slept the rest of the day, and basically the only time I would sleep is if my body passed out from pure exhaustion. Okay, now we get to March 10th to 20th. I don't have the days written anymore. But March 10th to the 20th. Felt like throwing up that whole week. Did not get any better. That's all. It felt the same. March 21st, which was a Monday. I went to urgent care. You know, this was about a month after I got diagnosed. Or close to a month, you know. But I went to that. I know it was a Monday because I remember my dad getting home from work and then taking me to urgent care. But I went to urgent care and I had a panic attack. They took x-rays. Now this is the part that gets disgusting, so trigger warning for any of you that doesn't like deal with fecal matter or blood or anything. And it's kind of hard for me to talk about because while I was sick, I couldn't like see anybody like throwing up. I couldn't, you know, have people talk about throwing up. I couldn't see blood, anything gross. It would make me feel like throwing up myself. So it just made me feel worse. But I had poop backed up all the way into my stomach, which was causing the nausea and the feeling of throwing up. That's what they told me. Again, now I did have poop backed all the way up, but we thought once that cleared out, that would be the end of it. Not necessarily, because the same thing, chronic gastritis has those same symptoms, the feeling of throwing up and nausea and all that. So yeah, not good. But they gave me medicine for it. They gave me Miralax, which softens your stool so it can slide right out. I was basically constipated, and I had shit all the way backed up to my stomach. Now they told me if I wasn't able to poop and I kept eating, that eventually would get backed up so far that I started throwing up actual shit. So didn't want that to happen. So I basically stopped eating, but I'll get back to that. March 22nd to 28th. Felt better. I stopped taking medicine because I was on a normal pooping schedule. I felt like it, you know. March 31st, Thursday. Went to the doctors again. Felt fine. Felt good, you know. Feeling good. Feeling like I was getting better. April 1st to the 5th. Felt sick again. Feeling like throwing up. Came back. Wow. April 6th, which was Wednesday. I moved to the couch through the 6th to the 8th. Stayed on the couch and felt very hungry and hard to eat without throwing up. So that's kind of why I stopped eating as well. Started taking Miralax again. So I started taking Miralax again because I stopped pooping after like a week, you know, because I got a normal pooping schedule from March 26th to the 28th, and then I stopped again for a week. So I was like, okay, I should start taking Miralax again so I can poop regularly. But I wasn't eating. That didn't click in my mind until later. April 9th was Saturday. I went back in my room, still very hungry and hard to eat, which I'm very glad that I moved the TV behind me. I'm very glad that I moved that because it was over here on the side of my desk where my bookshelf is now. So I'm very glad I moved that TV because I could watch that TV. But yeah, I went back in my room, still very hungry on April 9th and hard to eat. April 10th to the 15th, felt sick and hungry, was able to eat and feel a little better though. The thing I was scared to eat because if I would, you know, get backed up, I would start throwing up shit. So that's why I didn't eat. Didn't eat for like a week. April 16th, Saturday. Okay, this was one of the worst moments. Started diarrhea for the next 3 days. 3 days having diarrhea every 2 hours. Stopped taking Miralax because it just made me like fucking shit for 3 days straight every 2 hours. Just day and night. It was the worst. Like, I'm pretty sure I blew a hemorrhoid because there was blood, and I'm pretty sure the skin around my asshole ripped off because there was a lot of blood that shouldn't be blood in the toilet. April 19th was a Tuesday. Diarrhea stopped. Didn't feel well. Started taking capsules again. It was what the fuck? I don't know. Why was I taking capsules? I can't remember. I started taking some kind of medication for the next 2 days. Almost threw up taking them. Because capsules, like, they're pills, but they have beads in them. So, one thing doctors recommend if you can't take pills is, like, open up the capsules and pour the stuff on applesauce and then swallow the applesauce with the things in it. So I did, but I almost threw up taking them. Didn't feel good taking them and got very sleepy after taking them. And I was kind of sleeping normally, but I really wasn't. Sleeping like a couple hours here and there. April 21st, Thursday, stopped taking the capsules because I was backed into my stomach again because I haven't pooped in a while, and it made me want to throw up when I tried eating. So I was like, well, I'm backed up, so I was like, what helps you poop? And I was like, apple juice seems to help me always poop, and you know, apples. So I started drinking apple juice, and that actually started helping. I started going to the bathroom. April 22nd, 29th, started feeling better, started eating semi-regular again, just plain things, you know, basically just plain cheese, ham, sandwich, stuff like that, which the only things that I could eat was basically pizza and Subway. It was weird. At the beginning, I started eating Top Ramen, but that started making me not feel good and stuff, and I couldn't have any fast food. It made me not want to eat fast food. So that's why I didn't have, you know, a lot of chips. Even if I got up and felt good enough to make a video, I don't think I would have been able to try all the chips with all the different flavors and the stuff that I tried from fast food restaurants. Plus, I couldn't have chicken anyway. Couldn't have fried chicken, so I couldn't try all the chicken things that came out. Which I know I missed a lot of things. I know a lot of new things while I was sick, but couldn't do anything about that, so not worried about that. But maybe they'll come back in the future, those things that I missed. But yeah, okay. So April 30th, Saturday, doctor's appointment went very well. Didn't have a panic attack. Pretty good. But this is where my anxiety started forming a little bit more from not going out. So May 1st to the 5th. Started to feel a lot better eating regular foods again. Only felt like throwing up by accidentally eating too much. Common thing, you know, because I was losing a lot of weight and my stomach was shrinking because I wasn't eating too much at the beginning. So that's the thing, which I lost 65 pounds with this sickness, but yeah. May 6th to June 2nd, basically a month. Was feeling better, but very fatigued and stopped eating again. So during that time, I wasn't pooping, and I felt like I was backed up again, and I just couldn't poop. Even when I was taking Miralax, I just couldn't poop. I couldn't poop. So I was like, I don't want to eat. So during that month, I didn't eat a lot. I would have a granola bar every now and then. But it's just like, I was so scared that if I was eating, I would actually start throwing up shit. So it eventually getting me to be backed up, you know. Ended up doing, which if I stopped eating it wouldn't get me backed up, but I felt like it was backed up all the way to my stomach. Ended up throwing up and had to take suppositories in order to get me regular. Also was coughing a lot. Suppositories didn't help. If you don't know what a suppository is, it's wax. It's like a wax cylinder about that big, and basically you shove it up your ass and it'll dissolve and break down the poop so you can poop it out. Basically a different way to get you to poop. So yeah, and also was coughing a lot, and coughing a lot caused me, which I had to cough since I got COVID in November of 2021, because I had like bronchitis, but we eventually figured out that it was actually COVID. It just sounded like bronchitis. That cough never went away, so the whole time that I had the sickness, I had that cough, and if I started coughing a lot, it would cause me to feel like throwing up. It was bad. Anyway, June 3rd, I threw up again, but this time it was worse because I threw up vile and dried blood. Don't know how I had dried blood in my throat or in my stomach, but I did. So my parents took me to the hospital. They took a lot of CAT scans and made me drink this liquid so it would highlight my organs or some shit. Took a CAT scan, and I also heaved quite a few times there, and it did not feel good, and I was exhausted. I was there for about 3 to 8, so 5 hours. I was there for 5 hours, almost 6, I would say. And I learned that I wasn't backed up at all. I had a rare thing, which I think it's called epileptic appendages or something, epileptic appendages or something. Basically I had there's these things in your large intestine, because my large intestine right here, there's these little like things that look like little balls, I guess you could say. But the thing was, they were twisted and inflamed, but I had the same symptoms as chronic gastritis, and I wasn't backed up because I shit everything out, which, like, your intestine is like 25 feet. I didn't feel like I shit 25 feet of poop out. But those little things that in the appendages in my intestine, and I'll put up a picture somewhere on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But those were twisted, inflamed, irritated because of the shit that was in my large intestine. It made contact with those, and which is why I still felt that way. So that was like kind of the last thing. It's like, you know what I'm talking about? Virus led to me not even get backed up because I didn't shit and didn't drink enough water and stuff because I felt like throwing up, and because of that I got this new thing, you know. So, you know, which caused me to be even more or less hydrated, and I needed to hydrate. I didn't have a lot of potassium and water, so they basically told me that I would go away in 2 weeks. Just I needed to drink a lot more and needed potassium, which the best way to get potassium is either Pedialyte or Gatorade. Didn't really like Pedialyte, so I started drinking a lot of Gatorade. June 4th to July 11th, another month. So it's kind of like in month intervals now, every now and then. I started eating regular because now I learned that I wasn't backed up. And after 2 weeks, the thing hasn't gone away. So I was like, you know, it'll probably go away in a little more, you know. Every now and then I felt like throwing up and didn't. Felt tired and did get a lot of sleep. Also getting hydrated and having potassium. Also coughing a lot. Did sit on the couch and watch TV every now and then. Because it was summer, and I think the sunlight just made me feel like in a better mood and happy, you know, because sometimes the weather affects your mood. Like, you know, when it's raining, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to get up, you don't want to get out of bed, you know, and it's sunny, you want to get out because it's a nice day out. So I feel like that's what kind of happened. July 12th through the 20th. Felt like my heart was racing and almost threw up that night. That night? What night? And felt like that for a week. Didn't sleep a lot and was tired. Didn't eat a lot that week and I wasn't feeling well, still coughing a lot. Okay, there's some dates missing here. Okay. So June 4th to July 11th started eating regular, and after 2 weeks hasn't gone away. Every now and then I felt like throwing up. So there's a part in there where for July 4th, I went to my girlfriend's house because it was a nice day out and I felt a little better. Went to my girlfriend's house and I did not feel good. Started coughing a lot, having anxiety and panic attacks. So I went home. July 12th to the 20th, I feel like when I almost threw up that night, I went to my girlfriend's to see her again, and I was there and I felt very nauseous and felt like throwing up. That I basically sat on a couch for an hour or so, felt like throwing up, and then passed out, and woke up every couple hours and would pass out again, because every time I wake up I feel throwing up. So I accidentally spent the night on our couch with nothing. Wasn't watching my phone or anything. TV wasn't on. Just basically with a bowl in my lap. And I got up at 5 o'clock when she had to get up and she had to take a shower and get ready for work and stuff. So I left and went home, and when I got home I almost threw up again. But basically when I woke up and when she woke up, basically woke up and basically was like immediately left because I felt like if I was there any longer I would throw up. And usually when I'm focused on something with my anxiety, when I can focus on something, it will go away, and I did that. Usually whenever I would feel bad, there was always a video that I could watch that would make me feel better, which I'll talk about the stuff I did while I was sick and while I was gone. But yeah, felt like my heart was racing July 12th to the 20th. Almost threw up that night and felt like that for a week. Didn't sleep a lot and was tired. Didn't eat a lot that week. Wasn't feeling well. Still coughing a lot. Coughing was making me almost throw up. July 21st to 25th. Started to feel better and eat again. Started to get a little more sleep. Still was hungry every now and then. Yeah, but I didn't really have much of an appetite whenever I was feeling hungry. Like I would feel hungry, but I didn't have the desire to eat. This is a lot, so this is going to be a long video. July 26th to August 31st. Back and forth, felt good for a few weeks and then felt bad again, basically up and downs. Would have episodes of non-stop coughing, which would almost cause me to throw up. So this is when I got into like the episodes, what we would call episodes, is when I would cough a lot and felt like throwing up and just couldn't. And this is when I would watch videos, because after a few months I was able to watch my phone and stuff. I couldn't for the first few months, but I was able, after the first few months I was able to watch it. For the first few months I could only watch TV, which was weird, but I couldn't watch any YouTube or anything. But after a couple months I was able to watch YouTube, so I was watching my phone. There was always a video series that I could watch that would always make me feel better. I don't know why it was, but it would always make me feel better. But I'll get to that in the next segment or whatever of what I did. Now September 1st to October 13th. Been bedridden, stomach constantly in pain, but not a stomach ache. Would have episodes of non-stop coughing, which would almost cause me to throw up once again. But yeah, my stomach was in constant pain, and I just couldn't eat a lot. As I said, the things that I ate were pizza and Subway and eventually pizza rolls, which pizza and pizza rolls are kind of the same thing. But those are like the only 3 things that I could eat without feeling bad. I had some like teriyaki or chicken fried rice at one point. Again, I didn't know I had chronic gastritis until January of this year, but that would make me feel bad, and I was like, well, I can't have that. October 14th, went to the doctor's, had 2 panic attacks back to back, and my whole body was like numb while having those panic attacks. When I was there, I got an appointment for a blood test and an ultrasound, so now time to do more tests since I wasn't getting better. Also got anxiety medicine, which the anxiety medicine, I think it was a pill form, so I just decided to not take anxiety medicine. I don't know, because I don't remember taking any anxiety medicine. But I also got a prescribed inhaler that had something that it would help me with my cough. I would inhale it, and then it would help me stop coughing for a while. But yeah. October 21st, went and got blood test. Oh, so I scheduled a blood test on October 14th. October 21st, I went to get blood tested. No panic attacks right there, but almost. Again, I went there with my headphones and watching the videos that helped me kind of not, calm down and focus on. October 22nd, November 22nd. Felt way better. Had some off days here and there of no eating, but not too bad. Got blood tests back during this time. Nothing irregular. Was also sleep deprived for the 14th through the 20th. This is when the Minecraft Marathon went on, which if you don't know, I watch that every year, and it started at 6 a.m., so I was kind of sleep deprived during that time. And, that Friday, which was at the 18th, Pokemon Violet also came out, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I played that weekend as well. Got back on a sleep schedule, which being sleep deprived helped me get back on a sleep schedule for the 14th through the 20th, since I was getting up at 6 a.m. and then basically falling asleep at 9, because I was getting up from having only a couple hours of sleep at 6 a.m. the first day, but then I would fall asleep when they would stop at like 6 p.m. So I would fall asleep around there, and it helped me get on a regular sleep schedule, which was good. November 21st, I went to go get my ultrasound and learned that everything in the ultrasound looked fine at the first look. No panic attacks. Cool. And we eventually find out that everything in the ultrasound was fine. We had a gastroenterologist look at it, or someone who does an ultrasound. I don't know if it was a gastroenterologist. Ugh. But it was fine. November 24th to December 12th. Felt good. Started feeling a little better. Still in bed though. Fucked up my sleep schedule on around the first week of December. So my sleep schedule is now messed up again. Which means up all night, falling asleep in the morning, and waking up in the afternoon. Yeah. December 13th. Went to the gastroenterologist because now that I had basically every test in the book, basically the last thing now was to go to a gastroenterologist and get an endoscopy so they could look in my stomach to actually see what the fuck is wrong. So I went to a gastroenterologist and got confirmation on nothing wrong on my ultrasound. Yeah, so I was right. Got a new inhaler for my coughing. Oh, maybe that's when I got the inhaler. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. I got the inhaler for my gastroenterologist for my coughing. Because it might be, they said at first that might be something in my laws that caused my stomach to hurt. Also scheduled endoscopy. December 14th to January 9th, because my endoscopy was not scheduled until New Year of January 10th. That's the dates I know. And I remember all these December dates because I was texting with my girlfriend of all these doctor's appointments. That's why I know some dates are correct with when I went to the doctors. And my mom also schedules stuff on a calendar that we have in our kitchen on the wall. So I was looking through that calendar a lot, with the doctor's appointment. So I know all of the doctor's appointment. And for this point, all the dates are correct. But yeah, December 14th through January 9th, started feeling better every day. Normal sleep schedule. Some days I don't feel like eating, otherwise fine. Again, didn't have an appetite, which my gastroenterologist didn't know I didn't have an appetite. Fixed my sleep schedule on December 19th by taking melatonin that night. I stopped taking melatonin during the time I was sick because I felt like because anytime I would feel like I was taking it, I wouldn't feel good. I would feel like throwing it up or spitting it out. I just felt like throwing up anytime I would put something in my mouth. So, but I started taking melatonin that night, and then I was able to kind of get on a no sleep schedule. Then my girlfriend came over for New Year's, felt better because of that. Which I would get like anxiety anytime my girlfriend would come over. And maybe it's just because I wasn't used to her being here all the time. It would probably have been different if we were living together. But it shouldn't have been, because December of 2022, we had been dating for 2 years at that point. So it's really weird that I would get anxiety anytime I went to her house or she came over here. But that's besides the point. So yeah, she stayed over for New Year's, and I felt better because she was here. Then January 10th, I got an endoscopy done. And then January 24th, 2 weeks later, got my results back, have chronic gastritis. Worked on getting better after that, now knowing what I have and how to treat it. So yeah, it all started with a misdiagnosis, and it took so long because I had shit backed up, which we thought that was the problem at that point. Then later on, I had epileptic appendages or whatever, thought that was the case. And then since I didn't get better, it's like, now let's take every other test. So it's like ultrasounds, x-rays, blood tests, and all that. And it's like, well, the only thing left to do is an endoscopy. And the last thing we do, we finally figure out what it was. So yeah, And then my parents, my parents were gone. They were on a trip for a week, and my girlfriend stayed over for that week and helped me if I needed any help. And then my mom and brother went to Japan, but my dad stayed home with me. Between January and February. I think my parents went on a trip in February, and then my mom and my brother went on a trip in March. Yeah, in March. But March 7th, I worked on getting out of the house and getting over my anxiety. So now that I know I had chronic, and that's basically the end of my notes. But now that I knew that I had chronic gastritis, I knew how to treat it. Which one thing to treat, to help it, chronic gastritis will go on away on its own, but it takes up to 12 weeks. So that's 3 months. So I spent the next 3 months kind of focusing on what I was eating, because 2 of the big things you're not supposed to eat while you have chronic gastritis, because it will upset it, is fried chicken and anything with citric acid in it. Basically fruits, some type of sodas. Some sodas don't have citric acid, but like chips and stuff, like the Pringles right here, that I tried earlier today, they have citric acid in it, so some stuff has citric acid in it, some stuff does not. So I couldn't have anything that had citric acid. So the next couple months I stayed away from that. The thing is, while I didn't know I had chronic gastritis for the year of 2022, I didn't know that I had chronic gastritis. So what I would eat is like fried chicken and stuff that had citric acid in it, like that apple juice and, apples and any kind of fruit, So that's why I wasn't getting better. If I knew that I had chronic gastritis from the beginning, I would have been fine by the end of last summer. But no. So, yeah. But now that I knew that I had it, that I got confirmation at the end of January, I felt like, okay, so I just need to stay away from that stuff, and it'll go away within 3 months, which it clearly worked, because now I'm feeling better. And I actually did have a piece of chicken the other day, and I felt completely fine afterwards. I had, fried chicken for dinner, because that's what my parents wanted. So we had some fried chicken, and I felt completely fine. Completely fine. I had that chicken, felt completely fine afterwards, all the way up until I went to sleep. Didn't wake up with any stomachache. Woke up in the morning, got breakfast, and was fine the rest of the day. So, yeah, it clearly worked. But also another thing that that helps with chronic gastritis is if you drink a lot of water. A lot of water helps as well. So I started drinking a lot more water. Like now I go through like 4, maybe 5 bottles a day of water. Though I just reuse the water bottle. Like this water bottle right here, I've been reusing it. And it's full right now, but it's because I filled it up just in case if I needed to take a drink while I was talking, which I should take a drink because I've been talking for almost 40 minutes. Lube my throat. But yeah, so that's what happened. And then once I started feeling a little better and it started being sunny out, I started to try to get my anxiety, because I developed really bad anxiety, and I never really had bad anxiety before. Like I could play shows in front of 100 people, 200 people. Like in high school, I used to play in front of hundreds of people because I was the lead guitarist in the band. I was the only guitarist, and I would play solos, in the band, and being a lead guitarist, you got to be out there in front. So I never had anxiety, never, and I was in band in college, and during that time, I could play in front of people, and it's like I wouldn't even throw up from, and I wouldn't feel nervous or anything. But like now going to places and stuff, just like during that time, just maybe, and I think it just made me feel bad. And I think it was the feeling of something bad could happen, and not being in the comfort of my own home. So once I started like feeling better and started getting over it a little, I started I started with just going on drives, because I hadn't driven in like a year. So I started kind of going on drives, and then, each day I would push myself a little bit more. I would go to the store, and then I started pushing myself going to my girlfriend's house. That was kind of hard at first, had some, panic attacks here and there. And, but I started getting better at it. And the more I did it, and the more that I did it on a daily routine, I started to get over my anxiety, and my anxiety completely disappeared. Now I can go to my girlfriend's house and not have an anxiety attack or anything, you know? And, you know, I still feel anxiety every now and then because I haven't gone, like, everywhere I could. But now, you know, I'm going to fast food restaurants, you know. Just not for fast food videos, but just pick up food for my family or whatever, you know. And just, like, you know, I feel fine and stuff, you know. And going on drives and stuff, you know. Having to learn, like, all my paths to, like, fast food restaurant stuff, because sometimes I take the back roads because it's a nice drive, and it's like I gotta remember, because I had it all memorized, like which lane I need to be in to make it the most efficient or whatever, and it's like I forgot that, so I started going all these paths trying to retrace and memorize what lane I was supposed to be in. That's besides the point. So I started getting a lot better, and now I'm better. So yeah, we're gonna have videos coming out and stuff, and yeah, but I'll get back to that because that's going to be the last point. But now I want to get into the next segment, which is what I did when I was sick, which I actually do have some things written down. So let me pull that up real quick. So I talked about how I couldn't watch YouTube or anything. Let me take another drink. I talked about how I couldn't watch YouTube or anything, or watch my phone or anything while I was sick because it made me feel good, at least for the first 2 months. So I watched quite a couple of shows in that time, and it was a lot of my childhood shows. I watched The Sweet Life Inside Cody. That was a show when I was a child. I watched all of that. I was gonna watch Sweet Life on Deck, but then the boat. The thinking about the boat being on water and the bouncing and stuff and people getting seasick, it's like I don't want to watch this stuff. So I watched Sweet Life Inside Cody. Then I went on to Wizards of Waverly Place, which I don't even think I've seen the season finale of Wizards of Waverly Place. I mean, now I have. But you know, that was a show, so I watched all that, and then I watched part of Good Luck Charlie, and then whenever what was the other kid's name besides Charlie, the fifth kid that they had, Toby. Whenever they had Toby, I stopped watching it, because then I found a show that I loved. It came out when I was in middle school, and I watched it all through high school. It's 4 seasons. I watched Lab Rats and it was on Disney XD when it was airing, and it's on Disney Plus. And I watched that show on repeat for 5 months. I know, it was just on the background in my room, and I wouldn't even watch it, you know, all 24/7 or whatever, you know. The thing with Disney Plus is it would play like 8 episodes, and Disney Plus has that countdown. Like once an episode was over, it was like next episode in 15, 14, 13. It would count down to 0, and then it would play the next episode. Or you can manually click it to play it faster. It'll play 8 episodes in a row, and then after those 8 episodes were done, it'll be like next episode, but no countdown timer. And after a while, it was an Amazon Fire Stick that I was using. It would shut off, so when I fell asleep to it at night, it would kind of just shut off, and then I would have to turn it back on in the morning. And I had it in the background because if any time I felt sick or anything, with any time I was watching a video, you know, I could look at it and it would make me feel better, you know. Of course, there was some things in that show and stuff where people would, it would give the illusion of throwing up, or there would be something gross, you know, that made me feel sick. And I figured out what those episodes were, so I know what episodes to skip whenever I got to it. But yeah, I watched Lab Rats basically on repeat for 5 months. But the last 2 months, I watched the same string of 8 episodes, because 8 episodes would play in a row. I watched the same string of 8 episodes for 2 months straight. And it's just like, because I had Lab Rats all the way in the background. And it was 8 episodes because at least 4 of those episodes were some of my favorite episodes of the whole series. So I would play the beginning of the episode, then 8 episodes, and then it would stop, right? And then I would go back and start it over, and just kept doing that, you know. So for 2 months, you know. And then around this time was the summer where I started feeling better. I started getting up at like a normal time, like 8 or 9, you know. And this was summer of 2022, and this was July. you know. So I started getting up and I started watching Friends because we have cable TV on our Hulu streaming account. So I started watching Friends every morning because it was on at that time, you know, and, you know, I liked it. But then I would, you know, I would have breakfast downstairs or whatever, which my breakfast usually consisted of pizza rolls because that was like the only thing I could eat, or leftover Subway. But yeah, so I started watching that, and then I'll come back upstairs, turn Lab Rats back on, and watch YouTube videos or whatever. Until August, when my mom bought the HBO Max, because we didn't have it before. She bought the HBO Max extension for our streaming service, and then we were able to, well, I was able to watch all the seasons of Friends. Hold on, my like webcam is fucked up and it's messing with me. There we go. My webcam was fucked up for a while. Damn. Didn't even like fucking realize it. I kept looking at it, but just realized it now. Anyway, so I was able to watch all 10 seasons of Friends, right? And the thing with between Disney Plus and HBO Max is Disney Plus would run 8 episodes and it would stop the countdown timer. HBO Max, it just kept going. So I've had Friends on since August when we got it, all the way until, well, basically now, just on repeat, all 10 seasons, just repeat. I eventually just only started repeating the seasons 1 through 4 because those were my favorite seasons. So that's what I did. But yeah, so that's basically what I did, what I watched and stuff, and what I watch YouTube and stuff in the background, and found a lot of people, you know, that I watched too, which yeah, but what I ate, basically told you what I ate: pizza, pizza rolls, and Subway. The only thing I could really keep down. I got, so that's what I ate. But, and then during that, I got ideas for videos and series to do, like, in my head. So I started writing these down. I don't want to give anything away. And I do have a couple ideas for series that are coming back, but I'll get into that in the next segment or whatever. Oh, my phone's dying. Anyway, so, yeah, I got ideas and stuff. And then, so that's one thing, and I'll talk about that kind of like in the next segment, I guess. I also got back into wrestling, specifically WWE. So, yeah, so while I was a kid, around like I think I was 9 or something. It was around 2008, so yeah, I would have been 9. I got into wrestling because everybody like in my class was, you know, wearing wrestling shirts and they bought wrestling action figures and stuff. So I started watching wrestling when I was a kid, and I got out around like the beginning of 2013, and that's when I was becoming a teenager, you know. So I got out of it for a while, and then it might not be because I was sick, but I think because I was sick and I was seeing a lot of wrestling videos is why I kind of decided to watch it again. It was kind of on TV one day, and I kind of just turned it on because I was like, I used to watch it, and I think I got back into it and stuff, you know. But I also hear a lot of stories like people watch it when they're a kid, and then when they're a teenager they kind of stop watching it, but they get back into it while they're adults. So I might have got back into it even if I wasn't sick, you know, because sometimes that happens and, you know, stuff. Damn, I'm fucking hot right now. My room is so hot. Anyway, let's just keep going. Ignore the hot. Ignore that my room's like fucking 80 degrees right now. It's been hot the past couple days here, so that's why. And I don't want to turn my air conditioner on because it will fuck with the mic and everything, and you'll be able to hear it and shit. Even though I got a windscreen on my mic, you'd still be able to hear it. But yeah, I got back into wrestling, specifically WWE, because that's what I watched when I was a kid. You know, I know there's AEW now and stuff, but like I've heard like comparisons like, oh, AEW is better than WWE. No, WWE is better than AEW. Personally, for me, I like WWE. So for the people that like AEW, don't hate me. I watch it every now and then, but it's just not for me because this is the best comparison I could give it. AEW is mostly about wrestling matches. WWE is mostly about storylines involved in wrestling matches. And I like WWE because I like storylines. I like story and stuff. Plus the story with the bloodline is just fucking amazing. I started watching wrestling by the time Vince McMahon retired and Triple H started taking over. So the first pay-per-view I was able to watch was SummerSlam, and that's kind of pay-per-view that's like WWE was being watchable again, you know. And I know like the controversy you know, now that I got back, that like, you know, a lot of people wasn't watching WWE, and maybe that's why I grew out of it, because Vince McMahon's booking became bad, because he was just getting old, you know. And you know, I know that he basically retired because of the charges against him, the sexual misconduct charges or whatever, you know. So that's why he left, and then he came back, became executive, grew a porn stash and all that, and then, you know, fucked up the Raw after Mania and stuff. But you know, that's what it is. But yeah, I prefer WWE over AEW. That's just me. That's my preference. You know, you don't have to like WWE if you like AEW. That's okay. Don't criticize me just because I like WWE. It's just what I prefer. You know, it's just AEW's not really for me. Even though there's a lot of WWE stars. I mean, my favorite WWE star when I watched WWE when I was a kid was Jeff Hardy, and now he's in AEW. But I don't like watch AEW, and I know Christian is in there, Matt Hardy's in there. Who else is fucking in there? I can't remember. Chris Jericho's in there, you know, and some like NXT stars. But I didn't watch WWE either at the time. But yeah, just like WWE. That's my preference and stuff. I got into some new games while I was sick. I kind of got into a little bit of Zelda because like Tears of the Kingdom came out a few months ago, and everybody was streaming it. So some of my favorite people that I watch, they were streaming it, so I like checked it out and kind of got into it, you know. I've never really been big into Zelda games, you know. There's a couple Zelda games I like Skyward Sword, I like Wind Waker, but never really got into Breath of the Wild or whatever. And Tears of the Kingdom is a direct sequel, so I kind of got into it. So I was like, maybe one day I'll play Breath of the Wild and stream it. Who knows? Hint, hint. Maybe. That's a maybe though. It's still not concrete, but I thought about it. I got into some new games. I also got into God of War, you know, because if you didn't know, I like Greek mythology, and the God of War games has Greek mythology, and you know, now the new God of War games where Kratos is older and involves Norse mythology, which my ancestors are Norse. You know, half my family is on my mom's dad's side is Norwegian, so I mean, you know, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I got into some new games, so you know, some new games might be coming to the channel and stuff, you know. Now I'm gonna address why I wear this beanie. Now this beanie I started wearing while I was sick, because I was sick and I was bedridden all the time, that I was so weak that I couldn't really take showers, and when I would take a shower, it would take a lot of energy out of me. So I couldn't take showers every day like a normal person. So when I would go out and I like haven't took a shower or anything, you know, and my hair would be in knots from sleeping on it or whatever, put this hat on so people wouldn't see my greasy hair and my hair in knots and, you know, my dirty hair or whatever. So I started wearing this hat, and I go through these phases where I'm like into something and then it kind of stops. So like when I was in elementary school, I went through this phase where I wore a beanie every day for like a year and a half, and then I just stopped wearing it because I forgot it one day, so I stopped wearing it. I went through the same thing in middle school, and now I'm in that phase again where I wanted it so much when I would go to doctor's appointments and stuff that I just start wearing it all the time. So I'll probably like wear it in like some of my videos, but I'll probably forget it in one video and then stop wearing it. It's just like I wear it all the time that like whenever I go out, I put it on just because of like instinct now, and you know, I'll probably like forget about it one day and then I'll stop like wearing it because I won't worry about it anymore. But if you're curious, if you aren't paying attention, I used to have longer hair, and that's because I cut my hair. I'm not gonna take my beanie off to show you guys because my hair will be all messed up, and I'm kind of self-conscious about that. But I don't have long hair anymore, and the reason for that, I didn't like buzz cut it, but it's pretty short. It's above my ears at least. You know, if I can give you kind of like a peek, kind of how short it is. But I had to cut it because the back, it was so bad and it was so knotted that the hair was kind of like all fused together. It was all matted. So it's like hair just kind of like all fused together like that, and it was all matted together that you could not comb through it. So when we decided to finally cut off, we cut basically all the mat off in one go, right? And you think it would fall in different pieces. No, we cut it off and the whole back of my hair just came off in one go because it was all like fused together. It just stayed together. It didn't fall into many pieces. It was just one thing. So yeah, I had to cut my hair because there was no way I was going to comb through that. It would have taken probably like a month or so non-stop to comb through that if we actually tried to. There was no getting through it. But yeah, and you know, I had to do that in my schoolhouse to get healthier and stuff from that. But yeah, I got a haircut. I think you'll see. I did start taking a different thumbnail for the snack videos that I'm gonna do, because it's updated because the old thumbnail I didn't have as much facial hair as I have now, so I took a new thumbnail for the snack videos and the chips videos. So you're in that photo you'll see my hair. So yeah, but yeah, so I cut my hair. Future Derek here. So I'm editing the update video as we speak, and in the next part of the video that I'm gonna cut out and replace to what I'm recording now is basically I was trying to get into my Discord account because at some point in the past month Discord locked me out, and I was trying to get back into my Discord account, but the password that I was remembering wasn't the password for that account, and I had to reset my password. But to reset my password I had to get into my email, but the email that was registered with that Discord account doesn't exist anymore because sometime in the past, between when I created that Discord account and now, that email was compromised, so I deleted that email and no longer use that email. So I couldn't get back into my Discord account, which means I had to create a new Discord account, which I did, which is now my backup account. And I could still get into my server, but I didn't have any admin permissions or anything because I was on a different account that was not originally in my server. So I couldn't have any permissions, so anybody that joined my server, I couldn't add roles or anything. And it was just a whole thing, and I said in the video that I was like, I'm not going to care about Discord anymore. You won't find a Discord link in my video and stuff. That has now changed because I was able to get back into my Discord account with the email that no longer exists anymore. And basically what I did is I just had the idea of like, if that email doesn't exist anymore, couldn't I create another email under the same name that it was originally? Because if that email doesn't exist anymore, I could create one that was the same name. That's what I did, and Discord sent me an email to reset my password under the new email that was the same name as the old me email that no longer existed, that I registered my Discord username under. So I do have permissions in my server again. I got my Discord account back, and I also gave admin permissions to my backup account as well, and it's labeled backup account in my Discord and stuff, but I'll still be using my main account now. So now I have a backup account because I created a new account, obviously, and my backup account also has admin permissions, so if any time I need to use my backup account, I can use my backup account and do stuff in my server. So Discord link is still going to be in my server and stuff. And I also talked about how you know, you could still talk to me in that Discord server even if I didn't have admin permissions and stuff. You could still join it, but none of that is relevant. But I also because I got my account back, but now you can also I also talked about how you can request food video ideas and video suggestions in my Discord. You can also suggest in the comments, and then I basically said, while on the subject of food videos, you know, and stuff. So yeah, that's all I want to say. Back to the video, and I guess while we're on the topic of food videos and stuff, there's gonna kind of be like a new format and kind of a schedule. So let's talk about the schedule and the new format. So food videos are gonna be changing, and what I mean by that is I had a very unhealthy eating, unhealthy diet, I would say. And it's because I would have fast food almost every single day of the week. And that is because there was so much like new stuff coming out. I'm sorry I'm like scratching my back. It's because I have sweat dripping down it. Because it's so hot in my room. But I had an unhealthy diet because I was eating fast food almost every week. Almost every day. Every week. And that's because so much new stuff was coming out that I wanted to try it all. And I remember like that was never my intention to do. It kind of just evolved into something that I wanted to try everything. So like the old me would be like, Arby's came out with the roast beef sandwich. I don't like roast beef, but I'm gonna try it either way. But now I'm gonna be like, Arby's came out with the roast beef sandwich. I don't care. I'm not gonna try it. Because like YouTube to me is kind of documenting my life, documenting the things I try. And I know food reviewers try to do everything because, you know, that's what food reviewers do. I'm still going to be reviewing the food that I try and stuff, but it's also a way for me to document what I try. So I'm going to go back to what I do and just try the stuff that I'm interested in, which is why I'm going to limit myself to one fast food restaurant a week. Now, one fast food restaurant does not include the healthy fast food restaurants. What I mean by healthy is like Subway, because that's technically healthy, Panera Bread, you know, kind of stuff like that are, you know, kind of fast, but they have healthy kind of options. I guess you could include like salads from like Jack in the Box or Wendy's, you know, but I'm gonna keep it like strictly the Subway or something. Maybe I'll kind of like switch that into kind of getting salads from fast food restaurants like Wendy's. But yeah, one fast food restaurant a week. So I can go to like Taco Bell on one day, and I can go Subway next, and I won't break the rule. But if I go to Taco Bell that day, I can't go to like Wendy's or McDonald's like the next day or whatever. You know, one fast food restaurant a week, not including healthy restaurants. Which also means I also want to do one sit-down restaurant a week. But that's separate from fast food. So like I can go to Taco Bell one day, and the next day I can go to, I don't know, fucking Olive Garden if I wanted to. But then I'll reach my max, and then I can only have healthy restaurants for the rest of the week. So that's kind of my new plan. So I'm only going to be trying stuff that I'm interested in. Now for the snack videos though, I have a lot of videos that need to be recorded because while I was sick, my girlfriend did give me a lot of new chips that came out during the time I was sick. And I got to try them all. Some are expired. Some aren't. But I will be trying those. And chips usually are good for, you know, usually 1 to 3 months after their expired date. So they should be fine. I mean, you can tell if they're not good. But she got a whole bunch of chips, so I need to try all those. But after I'm done trying those, I'm only going to be trying the chips that I'm interested in. Kind of like with the fast food restaurants. But before I got sick, I was trying snacks. I would just go to the store just to find this new snack to try. You know, but now I'm only gonna go to a store if I actually absolutely need something, or if I need to go grocery shopping. And while I'm there, I'll look in the chip aisle to see if there's anything that I want to have or anything that I want to try. And if there is, I'll get it, you know. And if there isn't anything I want to try, like, you know, it's like, oh, that's new, but I don't really feel like trying that, then I won't get it. I won't bother with it. So yeah, food videos are gonna be kind of slowing down a little bit. So yeah, that's a new thing. So I guess next thing to talk about is, well, while I'm still on the topic of food videos, I do have, after this update video goes out, I do have 2 requests that will go up first: a Panera Bread video and a Chick-fil-A video, because I got the Panera Bread video before I got sick, and I wasn't able to do it before I got sick. And then I got the Chick-fil-A video while I was sick, so I needed to get those. So those will be the first videos go up, because I want to get those done. And, you know, for the people that request those, I'm sorry it took so long. Kind of was busy with my health, and my health kind of comes first, you know. But yeah, so those videos will go up. But with that in mind, let's talk about the schedule. I also have a Lunchables taste test video that I recorded in October of 2021 that never went up. I just kind of had it on my computer, and I found it on my computer. So I will upload that as well. That'll probably be one of the first videos I upload. But the schedule now is I'm also going to get back into gaming videos. And I have some already recorded, some gaming videos, and I do have the series picked out. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading those. Future Derek here once again, and what I'm cutting out and replacing with what I'm recording right now is the schedule, and that schedule has changed since I recorded the update video. And how the schedule originally was, it was going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday would be gaming videos, Tuesday and Thursday would be food videos, and the weekend would just be one-off videos. That's no longer the case. I'm just going to upload every day, and I'm just going to upload whatever video I have ready. Because there might be a day where I don't have a gaming video ready, but I have a food video ready. And if that's the case, then I'll just upload the food video. So I'm just going to upload every day, and I'm just going to upload whatever I have ready. So there might be a whole week where you don't get a gaming video, or there might be a whole week where you don't get a food video. It just depends what I have ready and what videos are edited and ready to be uploaded. So yeah, it's just gonna be whatever videos I have ready, but you'll get a video every single day. So Monday through Sunday. Yeah, Monday through Sunday. You'll get a video every day of the week, and it's just whatever I have ready. But yeah, back to the video. The last thing I want to talk about is streaming. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming again, because I don't know, because when I tried to stream this house before, my internet wasn't that good, and I thought when I get a new computer, my computer would be able to handle it, which my computer can handle it. But my internet in this house hasn't been that good. It's been getting like very shitty lately. So I don't know when streaming will come back, so I don't have a streaming schedule yet. But I guess I'll let you guys know on Twitter and on Discord, because I could still ping my whole Discord. But I'll let you guys know on Twitter and stuff. But I'll be on YouTube, so if you keep your notifications on and subscribe, you'll know when I go live. So yeah, that's kind of it. But before this video ends, I want to give some thanks to some people. And these people are the people I watched while I was sick. And these are the people that I was able to watch and kind of not feel sick. I was able to get kind of like, focus on their video and, not feel like I'm dying. So I guess the first people I'll start off with is Vintage Beef, Etho Labs, and B.II. They do mainly Minecraft videos. Vintage Beef, Etho, and B.II.'s videos, I was able to watch their Hermitcraft series, loved their Hermitcraft series, was able to watch them and had fun watching them. And then also Etho's and B.II.'s solo series, single player series, was able to watch them. I love those series. I've been watching these guys since basically I started watching Minecraft, which was like 2010, 2011. So I've been watching them for a long time. I'll also like to give thanks to Good. Now Good doesn't upload a lot, but he still streams on Twitch every now and then. I think he might be switching to YouTube, but he still streams now every now and then. And I mainly rewatch series that I've seen. I watch his OOG series and OOGE OOG series that he did with B.II. That's OOG, and then OOG is B.II., Good, and Etho. So that's kind of how I found B.II. and Etho. But I kind of watched, them play through Vex's Super Hostile maps and stuff. I like rewatching those. I also like rewatching Good's Portal 2 series, his Batman series, his Lego City series, his Minecraft videos every now and then, and since I've seen them before, I can fall asleep to them, So, yeah, I like watching those. Now, I guess let's get into, like, the PokeTubers, the Pokemon YouTubers, I guess. United Gamer, Dylan, or United Plays, I guess. United Gamer and United Plays. Same guy. Basically a series that he does with, like, Luke, Vinny, Shady, whoever, and then we fight, which is, basically like, we randomize our starters, and then we had the other person choose our starters, then we built the best team we could, and then we fight, or battle, got into those, and he does those, and, that's same with, Game Boy Luke, Original 151 or Nintendo, same guy, but that's Vinny, Patters, Shady Penguin, Short Tempered, aka Tobin. They all do that. Asteroid Videos, which is Frank, he's involved in some of those, but he doesn't do those videos himself. He does like weird one-off videos, you know, like creating the strongest Pokemon, stuff like that. But his videos are entertaining as well. During this time, I also discovered M&J TV and PM7. M&J TV, aka Michael, I knew he existed, and I started watching his videos. He does videos like where he's like, what if this trainer became an Elite Four member, or what if this trainer was the last gym leader? What would their team look like? Stuff. So I really got interested in his videos because they were entertaining to watch and see what he thought on it. He does like a lot of research too. But then he also like does challenges against PM7 or John, and that's how I found PM7's videos. And I like watching his videos too. Now, Chugga Conroy is probably a guy you all know about if you watch gaming videos. He's been on YouTube for quite a long time, and I've watched his videos and I like his Pokemon playthroughs. He was actually the one guy where I could watch his Pokemon Platinum playthrough and not feel tired. Anytime I would feel sick or, you know, felt bad, I would watch his Pokemon Platinum playthrough and I would feel better. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because my Pokemon Platinum is my favorite game. I don't know why. And then also PK Sparks. And I found PK Sparks because he did a playthrough a long time ago with Luke when ORAS came out. He did a series with Luke. And PK Sparks mostly does Mario content, not Pokemon content, Mario content. And I kind of got into Mario kick fall of last year. And he kind of just got recommended to me. I was like, oh yeah, he does Mario content. So I watched his Mario playthroughs through a lot of it. Now I'm gonna mention some guys that I kind of just watch on, kind of like on a normal basis, you know, just every now and then. So Rebel Ross, I watched his entirety of making his Super Rebel Ross world from Mario Maker. Watched that while I was sick. That was entertaining. Watched Small Ants videos. I watched Ray Navarez Jr. He's a Twitch streamer and he uploads his streams to YouTube, and then also highlight videos from his series. So I watch him, you know. I watch Mr. Beast, obviously. You gotta watch him, you know. I watch a guy called Alex Hefner. He did music reactions, and then last year he started doing movie reactions, and he started reacting to the MCU and Marvel movies, which Marvel movies and MCU movies are like my favorite movies. So I started watching him doing that. So I watched him because he would upload every Monday, and he called it Marvel Mondays. You know, now he's exploring the X-Men universe, and, you know, before he watched Spider-Man No Way Home, we watched all the Tobey Maguire movies, Andrew Garfield, you know. So he's watching all the movies, and he also watched the Venom movies. So it's not just MCU, it's also other Marvel movies. So I watch him as well. And then Scammer Payback, it's basically, Scammer Payback is kind of this corporation who goes against scammers and tries to scam bait them, which is basically waste their time and basically hack their systems and get them shut down and actually help people and save people, you know, and stop them from getting scammed, you know, and kind of teach people about what they do and on how they scam people and stuff. But, you know, so stuff like that. I also want to get into some new guys that I found while I was sick. I found some new guys. I found Matthias, which I recognized him from Markiplier's videos, but I found a TikTok of him where it was like I found my total car completely repaired or whatever. I saw a TikTok there and I decided to look it up, and apparently it was part of a series called 863. So I got really involved in 863 and watched all of that, and I still watch his videos now, even though he's not doing like 863 content anymore. I still watch this video now because he's actually very entertaining. I watch his vlogs and stuff. And he also has a channel called Dope or Nope that he did. I think he's taking a break from Dope or Nope. I don't think it's canceled, but watched a lot of his Dope or Nope videos. I found a guy named Chain Brain, which he does a lot of Rocksmith videos. And, you know, I like music. You know, I like music a lot. So I watched a lot of his videos. I also found a guy named Matthew Beam, which he makes giant creations and then gives them to people. Like, he made a giant Iron Man statue out of Legos and gave it to like David Dobrik and stuff. So, you know, watch him. Then I found a couple new channels. I found Straight Shoot, Mustache Bros Wrestling / Stash Club Wrestling, and Kicking It with Ross. And these guys are wrestling channels. They are kind of the ones that got me into wrestling. Now, Straight Shoot, hosted by Steve and Santi, they also have a TikTok account, and their TikTok account is what kind of got me into wrestling, not their YouTube account necessarily. I found them on TikTok, and they were doing like guess the wrestler in 60 seconds or guess the pay-per-view in 60 seconds, you know, stuff like that, or, you know, guess the specific gimmick of this character in 60 seconds, stuff like that. Got really invested in that. They got me into wrestling. But also Mustache Bros Wrestling, which Mustache Bros Wrestling isn't a thing. It was John and Dante. But Mustache Bros was owned by their former employer, so they're not called Mustache Bros Wrestling anymore, but they're called Stash Club Wrestling. So I watched them. I watched the Mustache Bros while they were with their former employer. Then when they became Stash Club, I watched them. They do a lot of trivia stuff and everything. And also, Santi from Straight Shoot also started coming back and posting his own videos on his solo channel, Mr. Santi's app, on YouTube. And he does trivia videos as well. And I watch those because they're entertaining and stuff. You know, I started watching his streams too. And then Kickin' with Frost does like reaction to videos to like top 10s and stuff, and also talks about recent stuff happening in WWE and stuff, and, you know, news and stuff. Reacts to, you know, news coming out and stuff. So they are kind of the ones that got me back into wrestling. Mainly Straight Shoot, you know, Steve and Santi, and Mustache Bros / Dash Club Wrestling. They're the ones that kind of got me back into wrestling. I started watching them kind of right before WrestleMania 38 hit, and then I didn't get back into wrestling myself until kind of SummerSlam, you know, around SummerSlam, right before SummerSlam. So, you know, maybe that's, but I started watching them because I was like, I used to watch wrestling, so I kind of like, you know, kind of got absorbed into the videos, and, you know, they're entertaining, so that's why I got into them and stuff. Now, the people on TikTok I'm also going to name because these are the guys I watch on a regular basis on TikTok. So I watch Straight Shoot, of course, what I was just talking about. Their TikToks got me back in the wrestling. Santi's app is his own TikTok. He does reactions to Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown and the pay-per-views, and uploads them to TikTok and stuff. Narcolepsy Boy 94, he also does the same thing as Santi. He kind of, you know, reacts to it and stuff, and also talks about it. He also does kind of some cool filters and stuff. So they're the three big wrestling guys I follow on TikTok. And then we start getting into the weird thing of Wordle TikTokers. I got really into Wordle TikTok for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I watched Kenny Horror, Michael D. Costanza. I think I'm saying his name right. I'm so sorry if I butchered that. But they play Wordle, and I watched them. They also play like mini crossword and different variations of Wordle, like Spottle, Hardle, Nerdle. Just so many different Wordle variations. So mainly Michael does that. Kenny Hall kind of just does crosswords and Wordle. He does do Feudal, which is Google Feud Wordle, I guess you could say. And I also watch Cam Tour and Not Cam, which are the same person, just two different accounts. And he started getting into the Wordle game, and he started doing Wordle with Michael. And he also does a lot of filters that are very entertaining and stuff. So yeah, you know. And then also, I forgot to name one other person who I found. I found Big Puffer's YouTube channel, which he does a lot of gaming videos with Grizzy, Droid, and Pezzy. And I like watching his perspective, so I thought I would put him in there. But yeah, all these guys, all their channels will be linked in the description, and also the TikToks that I mentioned also be linked in the description. Of course, I watch other YouTubers and stuff, you know, but these were the guys that I watched mainly the most. Everybody that I mentioned are the people that I watched the most. And it's because of them that I'm probably still here today. Because I was able to get absorbed in their content and not feel bad, because I was able to focus on their content. So, you know, But the biggest thanks I gotta give are to my parents and my girlfriend. I don't think if my parents weren't there to help me through this, and also my girlfriend, I don't think I would be here today. And I know that's kind of like a sad topic to talk about, but I'm just so grateful for them to help me through what I went through, because it was kind of hell for me. I've never been in so much pain in my life, and I've never had anything like that. Like, I've never had surgery or anything. So that kind of pain was just like, you know, I was a pretty healthy guy, and then this happened, and I've just never experienced so much pain. I mean, the first 4 months I was basically hovering over a bowl and sleeping, you know, straight up and passing out and stuff, you know, from pure exhaustion. And it's just like, I don't think I would have ever got through that if it wasn't for my parents and my girlfriend. And my girlfriend, she's the most sweetest, loving person I've ever met. And for her to be with me and be by my side through all of this and coming to visit me whenever she had the chance, that's just like a blessing. It's like, I personally believe that she's my soulmate. Like, for her to stick with me through a year and a half of me just being bedridden and not being able to do anything, just like, you know, I love her for that. It's just like, I don't think I would have ever made it if she decided to leave because I was just bedridden, but she didn't. She stuck with me through all of it. And it's just like, it was so hard for me, and I don't think I would have been there without her to reassure me that I was gonna get through this and that I was gonna get better and stuff. And it's just like, it's a lot. But yeah, sorry to get all touchy-feely at the end. But yeah, so I do have food videos coming out within the next couple days. I think the week that this video is uploaded, I'll start coming out with food videos this week. But I won't come out with gaming videos until next week. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. But yeah, videos are coming back shortly. I'm finally ready to get back into gaming things, and you know, I'm starting to be able to eat fried chicken and citric stuff with citric acid in it and things again, you know, because I was trying little by little each time, you know, after those 3 months or whatever, just to see how bad it would be. But yeah, man, this has been a long update video, and yeah, I'm just glad that we finally got through it. But everyone that I thanked and mentioned and stuff, you know, of course, I watch other people, like I said. It's just those other people that I watch, I didn't watch them because most of them are food videos, and when I couldn't watch their food videos because it's just like, I didn't feel good. Or other videos I watched, they would sometimes talk about puke or poop or whatever, something that kind of grossed me out or whatever, because I could not watch any blood or have anyone mention puke or seen people throw up or implied or anything gross, because it would just not make me feel good. But yeah, everyone that I thanked and mentioned, I'll link them in the description, their YouTube channel. And then the people that I mentioned that I watch TikTok, I'll also put their TikToks in the description. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this update video. It's a long update video, but I've been gone for a year and a half, so I mean, what are you gonna do? And now I feel like I want to record this video over because my camera was too far down, but what are you gonna do? Can't fix it. But yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it for this video, and yeah, expect food videos and gaming videos to come back and stuff. So yeah, don't know when streams are coming back, but I'll announce it because now I have access to community posts, which I did make a community post and stuff, and also like TikToks and stuff. TikToks will be uploaded whenever I upload TikTok. They'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. So anytime those could happen, shorts and stuff, which I did upload when I found a shiny and violet, because obviously gotta record that, you know. But yeah, videos will be coming back soon, and I'm excited to get back into recording. But yeah, talked a lot, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys all next time. Peace.